What's up, G's and B's and Q's? I wanted to start this podcast out with something a little special, with a tweet. Find relevance to revel in your responsibilities, and your ceiling for happiness keeps climbing. That is from my good friend Lucas Stengel, his @name classic statistical. I mean, come on, he's had that for forever, and good for him for getting that one. But it's a good tweet, it's like, I think a lot of people can relate, especially, I think seasonal depression is like a thing, and to find relevance, to revel in your responsibilities is obviously easier said than done, and like responsibilities kind of suck, you got a class, you got work, you got whatever, but if you can revel in them, if you can, instead of going to work, and this is something that he kind of told me too, is like, if you could be standing in line at the grocery store and be thinking, God damn it, like, these stupid kids are screaming in front of me, and this is really annoying, and I gotta pay for all this shit. Or, you can choose to think about something happy, Find relevance to revel in your responsibilities. Classic alliteration, I might add. Perfect. But yeah, it's just something that I've kind of been dealing with recently. And, when a good buddy of yours tweets something like that, it's like, it hits. It hits different. The other night, I came up with this metaphor. I woke up at like 4 a.m. randomly, and I couldn't get back to sleep. Just one of those nights. And I've had plenty of those nights too. And you kind of just sit there and like wish you could go back to sleep. You're like, come on, just go, just do it. And you never get there. And then you start thinking about all the bad shit that's going on in your life, or like that you feel shitty, and then you're like, oh, well, then I can't sleep. And you always come back to like the fact that you can't get to sleep, and it's just shitty, and it's bad. And I came up with this metaphor, and it was really relevant to me over this past winter, I guess, and school year. But it's like, it's called the shit sandwich theory. It's like you wake up in the morning, and immediately, right off the bat, someone's like trying to feed you a shit sandwich. You just wake up, and they're just like, all right, here you go, it's time. You're like, God, can I just get the morning, please? Can I just? And they're like, you gotta eat it. And sometimes you fight it off. You slap it away. You get up, you work out, you kind of like put on some good music or whatever. You fight it, and it's nice, but it's always there. It's like somebody is just like, here, eat this. You have to eat it, and that kind of sucks. Is like, and you sometimes you take bites, and you're just like, ugh, this is just bad. This is ugh. But it's awful. And then the thing that sucks is you're gonna wake up the next day, and there it is again, another goddamn shit sandwich, just waiting for you. And again, I think some days there isn't the shit sandwich, which is cool. Like, that's awesome. But if your life is like, are you supposed to appreciate the fact that you don't have to eat a shit sandwich today? Like, is that, I don't know. This is a really pessimistic point of view, and like, it's not for everybody like that. But I think a lot of the world is living in a shit sandwich. Like, there are a lot of negative people that are just kind of, they're just taking it. They like, it's not like they like it, but they're like, well, it's free. So it's like, those are the people that kind of, it's like giving up, it's like you feel bad and you want to stay in bed all day and you don't want to talk to anybody. And I think everybody feels that, but it's whether you fight against that or not. You fight this. Some people are like, ugh. And a lot of those times they don't know how to deal with it, and they try to give you, they're like, here, take a bite of my shit sandwich. They like put their problems on you. It's like, no. I have my own shit sandwich coming at me. I don't need yours too. And it's just like, you gotta, some days you gotta get your favorite food, and apparently that's what a lot of people think too, is like, at least people I've only had this discussion with one guy named Mike, and he was really cool, man. He gets it, but he's also like, dude, it gets better. Like, it definitely does. You get BLTs sometimes. For me, it's like, you get chocolate mousse, and like, which is unfortunate because I really like chocolate mousse, but it's pretty close to a shit sandwich. But, there are days when you get that, but it's like when the shit sandwich is constantly being fed to you, you're just like, God damn, I know there are days when I don't have to eat this and days when I get better shit, but like, I mean, still, that means you have to go your life eating shit sandwiches. Like, it's like, is it really worth it? Like, I mean, yeah, I like chocolate mousse a lot, but if I have to eat a shit sandwich every day to get one goddamn chocolate mousse, then, like, I don't know, it's tough, it's rough, but, it does get better, and, especially if you work on yourself a lot more and kind of being happy, and not, like, banking on other people to make you happy, and you can do it yourself, and especially, finding, like, spiritualism, or it doesn't even have to be spiritualism, like a religion, or, like, even just your passion, getting into something you really like it's not only a distraction from the shit sandwich, but it's just a little gold chocolate, a little nugget in the shit sandwich, of, like, something that, seasoning, I don't know. And so, it's a metaphor I probably need to work on a little bit more, but something that I've been doing recently to kind of get ahead of future shit sandwiches is, like, I don't know, when you take advice from people who are older than you, like, I mean, they've already been through some shit, you know what I mean? It's like, they've eaten a lot of shit sandwiches, and they're like, there's things that you kind of start to learn through your experiences and the moments that you've been through. And there's this one article, it has like 50 things you realize as you get older. And I'd like to kind of go through the list and break it down a little bit, just because, like, I think this is something that, I don't know, personally, like I've said, I've always been a forward-looking person, and which is kind of a bad thing, because, you got to live in the now. You can't always be planning for shit in the future and, like, setting yourself up for stuff if you're not enjoying it, So it's like, I don't know, learning things from older people. I should probably not swear as much to make me sound at least a little less dumb. But, learning things from older people is, you can get a lot out of it. It's like a secondhand experience almost. And, like, when you go through these experiences, like they'll tell you a piece of advice, but it probably won't hit until you've gone through that experience, Like, I mean, even things they tell you as a kid, like stranger danger and stuff, is like, well, why? Like, you don't understand the whole, I mean, I guess you kind of get stranger danger, but, you don't really know, like, what in the details of molestation or whatever, it's like, it's just, so there's things that hit differently after you've gone through these. So when somebody gives you advice, try to like apply it and try to make it as realistic as possible, so that way you can, like, fully comprehend it. So one of the things on the list is experiences are more valuable than goods. That's something you've heard all the time, but it's like, you're not going to fully realize it. Like, it's like the money argument, like how money doesn't make you happy. It's like, people tell you that all the time, but it's like, I don't know. Money seems like, if I had a lot of money, things could be awesome. And it does make things easier, but again, it's not going to make you happier. So that was just like one little thing. And it's like, I don't know, as you get to be an adult, you enter into a new stage of life, which is kind of crazy, because I have this whole theory that we're in a simulation and it's a video game, and we just level up. I don't know. That's weird to me. And you, like, feel it. You, like, feel yourself crossing a threshold. Sometimes. Not for everybody. For me, at least. That's my perception. So that's not really relevant, but I don't know. I would write a book someday on it or something. But, or do a podcast on it. Fuck it, But so, yeah, experiences are more valuable than goods. Hang out with your friends, talk to people. Those are things that you'll value and cherish more. That was another thing that I actually read. It was like, as you get older, the years seem to pass faster, and it's because, well, there's, like, the scientific reason that, your life, the fractions or whatever is, like, if you've only lived for 15 years, 1 year is more, a bigger fraction, like 1 over 15 versus 1 over 25, But there's another side to it where it's like, your years kind of go faster because it's like nothing is really new to you anymore. Like you kind of get used, like nothing surprises you anymore. That's one of the things on this list. It says you realize that the older you are, the more you have left to learn. Nothing new surprises you, which is, that's exciting. But it's also, like I said, that you get into like a routine and a safety thing. And it does say, it's not a bad thing to kind of have those years, because you're not making any new memories, but you're enriching. This is what it said. If anything, you're enriching the old memories, which is great. You wanna be able to get deeper with things and grow emotionally attached, because that's one of the greatest parts of life. But things are just gonna go faster if you do that way. So you always have to introduce new things and try to like break the routine, and things that you wouldn't expect need to happen. So that way, you make new experiences and you feel more alive. You feel like you're getting more out of life than when you don't, when you're just sitting around doing nothing all day, or doing the same thing you've done for the past 5 days. All right, this one. All right, so the next one that I'm going to bring up, this is like Quora. So there's like no credibility behind it. But when I read it, I was like, hi, and it was just like hitting for me, But the next thing is like, this is kind of what I was talking about, whereas like, as you get older, you kind of get responsibilities, you know know that, but you don't know what it's going to be like. You got a job, bills to pay, kind of a network to maintain, and not only that is like everybody is trying to do, I don't know, maybe not everybody. Some people are comfortable where they are, which is awesome, and they focus on other things in their life. But a lot of times, you have to make sure your career supports what you want to do, or is what you want to do, and in which case you want to be the best at it and be the top dog, So you got to work your way. Like a career, as bad as it sounds, like I said, it's like money shouldn't be the object, but it is kind of a big part of life, is trying to, like, it's life is a competition, and you want to make more money. It's a competition against yourself. It's one of these things. Again, there's no credibility here, but so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Again, I still haven't learned that one. But it's like money isn't the greatest thing in the world, but your career is definitely like a big part of that, like a big part of your life. And if you strive to compete with yourself and do better every day, and get to the top, it's like it is a competition in that you're, like I said, you're working. I don't know. So yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. I could tell because I know you. But it says here that who your spouse will be is the most important career decision you will ever make. And it's like, damn, dude, like, it's kind of true, because like that person is going to be tied to you financially, first of all. Even if you're just partners, is like, there's no credit debit system like between the two of you, or there shouldn't be, I guess. But in that, in that case, is like you kind of, that person is completely like, that will affect you building yourself to the top, whether you're going to continue building yourself to the top, whether they're going to help you, whether you're going to help them, kind of thing. Is like, again, you can't rely on other people to make you happy. Even your spouse, they're not the answer. They can be part of like that growth process, and they can grow themselves, and you can grow together, and that's great. But it's like, you have your own life, you do have your own life. Like they are not going to be there for every single thing, especially work, unless you work with them, which is kind of cool, but also, it's not allowed at a lot of places, and you shouldn't mix personal stuff and business stuff. I don't know. That's something I've heard, and definitely experienced a little bit. So definitely, pay attention to that. So, it's just interesting to be like, wow, like, not only when you're looking at, it's not like you look at a partner, you look at them, first of all, like, based off attractiveness. Don't lie. Come on. Everybody it's like, of course you should never judge a book by its cover. But naturally, you're going to be like, oh, I would never, I would never get with that person. Or like, oh, that person is a potential candidate, And candidate is the right word, because like, also, this is the thing that not a lot of people realize, is you got to be like, okay, well, are they, do they have something going on in their life? Are they similarly mentally focused like I am, is like, or are they, are they looking to settle down like I am? Or, it's just a big thing. It's just an important career decision. That's what it says, and it just kind of, it's just crazy to me. So I mean, that's another thing you kind of gotta take into account. Money again it's not everything, but it is definitely a big part of your life. So this is another thing on the list, is there's 3 skills to money, is making it, keeping it, and growing it. And they're all very different. Like, making it has, you can be a great saver, but you could have a shit work ethic and then, you're fucked, Or, I mean, like, with growing it too is like, you can be a great saver and know how to grow it. And those two are very complementary, because over time, if you're good at saving and you're good at investing, then it'll grow like naturally. But again, you got to be able to make it and have a good income. It's just all different sort of stuff. This is one that's interesting because I haven't, even like thought about the world of kids. Everybody never wants to have kids. I don't know. Most people I've talked to growing up don't want to have kids. I typically don't want to have kids. And there's a lot of reasons for it. But if you just look at it, outside of the, environmental crisis or like the shit world that we're in, kind of get over that, is like, again, it's your own life. If there might be a point at some time in your life where you're like, okay, everybody else is going to start having kids, and I mean, obviously, again, they should have probably accounted for the other shit. But if you're a smart person and kind of think you could do a good job at, first of all, only have one kid ever, or two max. But if you think you could do a good job, raise a good kid, adoption is always, but if you think you could do a good job and like have a good kid that would make a positive impact in the world, like, fuck yeah, do it. Like, why not? Like, and you are kind of putting them in the situation where they have to eat a shit sandwich a lot, but and then they start to resent you or whatever. However that thing goes, that little thing. But if you have a good relationship and like you think you can, it's awesome. So one of the things on here is having kids is horrible, but having kids is wonderful. That's what you hear people say, is having the day, the greatest day of people's lives is the day they had a kid, or when the kid did something that they were proud of. It's like, that's me, but a littler version, a different version, and now it's its own thing. I don't know. So it's like amazing, but it's also very, very shitty, which I think is pretty interesting, because people always say you should live life to the fullest, and that's like, you want to work the hardest, so your work really fucking sucks, or you want to have something that really sucks but it's like productive, like even cleaning stuff. It's like, if you do it and you're like, this is shit, I mean, again, you kind of don't think about it being shit, but like doing it, I just talked to this guy Evan, and Evan Patterson, I work with him, and he was talking about how he went to this trip in Nevada where it's like during the day they would go out in the desert and like roll barbed wire and shit, and it was like the most grueling hard work that they've ever done during the day. But then at night they would come back inside, and it was the greatest time of their life, because it was like they appreciated how shitty that was out there. And then you get to come back and like drink and smoke or whatever, and like have conversation again, like real conversation, and kind of get into it. Water, it's just like, you want to live life to the fullest. So like the hard stuff, you want to go hard in that hard stuff, so that way when it's the easy stuff, you can fully appreciate that as well. So that's like interesting about kids, is like, it is the shittiest thing ever, but when the good gets good, it's like, oh fuck, that's awesome. That's like, it's great. So that's another thing. This isn't really that big of an impact, but one of the things on the list is sleeping 8 hours a day is really important, regardless of the scientific reason. This I stand behind 100%. Sleep is like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know if that like if your perception of that changes like over time or whatever. But right now, I think sleep is really important to me. In fact, I have this tweet that is like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so I have this tweet. It says, I always try to get at least 8 hours of sleep, but I typically get around 9.5, 10 on a good day. Ladies, I believe if everybody was able to sleep in, the world would be a much better place. Sorry, sleeping's just always been a big dream of mine. See, classic Steve. It's not the greatest tweet, but, there's some things that ring true in there. Anyways, Next thing on the list, again, it's not something that hits for me yet, but it's something that is definitely relevant. Kind of like the sleep thing. It's like eat smaller portions. Every year you live, reduce portion size. I was just talking about this with my roommate Andy. It's like people are arguing about keto, the keto diet and whatever. Like, you need to do this, and like talking to people about it. And it's like, it's not about which diet you do. It's like diets are made for people who don't have discipline to cut down your portion sizes. Because really what it is like, no matter what diet you do, it's the fact that you're not eating the same shit that you always eat, and like shit. Like, and this is not, this is real shit sandwiches that are, so yeah, just take that into account. Try really hard not to care what people think. And actually, I like this one because that's like something you always hear. Try really hard not to care what people think. Again, it's easier said than done, but I like this one because he adds this, or he or she or them. This is too hard for me, but I'm learning. Like, that's a little personal touch. That is like, again, it's really hard, but it's like, you can't care because otherwise you're just going to it's going to start one of those, they're going to be that person in your head feeding you a shit sandwich, So there's that. I always like these little business ones. Business is about creating value. No value, no profits, no business. Don't believe your own hope. That's sad. But hope doesn't equal money, It's like, you can always be like, oh, this is going to work out. And then it doesn't work out. It's like, you have to put time and effort into it to create value for it, to make profits, to make business kind of thing. I don't know. I don't fully understand that one yet either. But again, I'm not even in the real world yet. So maybe one day it'll hit for me. Google people before you meet them. That's an interesting one. See, there are some questionable ones on this list that I'm not so sure on. But, I mean, it does kind of make sense to, like, because they're probably going to Google you, and it's like, if you don't agree with their online internet persona, then, I mean, that probably says something about you and them. I don't know. Ask questions at a rate of 10 to 1 of giving answers. I like that one. That's more of just being, like, taking advice from other people and learning from their perspectives, and, like, you get your moment. You get your time to give answers, but really you shouldn't. I don't know. Giving advice is weird because, like, again, nobody has it figured out completely. It's just a bunch of different strategies. So it's like, can you really tell that's something else that I read. It was like, you can't change people. You can't force people you can lead them. You can show them, like, the light. There's positive people and there's negative people in the world. And, like, there's the people that, I was talking about before, that the people who have fought away the shit sandwiches and, that's the other thing is that, real quick, the people, well, I'll finish this thought. People who fight against the shit sandwiches, and then people who just take it and they're just like, well, I'll just live in it. I'll live in the shit sandwich. I don't care. It's free. It's easy. Just give it to me. So, that's like, you can't, that was one of the things is like, you can't change a negative person, and it's rude to try. It really is, like, because they've realized what they're doing. They know what they're doing, but it's like they have to make the conscious decision themselves. They have to come upon it themselves to want to fight. Want to fight the shit sandwich. And that's what I was gonna say. I was about to go off on this tangent, but it's like there's those people who, like, wake up every day and, like, every day I eat a BLT. I get a chocolate every day. And it's like, no, you don't. Yeah, when you wake up in the morning to the sound of your husband's shit fart and your baby starts crying, and yeah, no, I mean, or it's just, I mean, come on. It's not every day you get to eat a freaking, Bill, I just love, shut up. Come on, grow up. Anyways. By the way, when I say grow up, my dad called me out on this. He listened to one of the podcasts. He's like, you're telling me to grow up? I'm a 50. It's like, I say that sarcastically. I don't ever, it's just like, grow up, dude. But it's like, that's such, for some people, that, like, hits. They're like, that used to, I mean, it still is if you use it in the right context. It's like a really, like, just grow up, dude. It's like, ouch. Like, ow, man. But, when you say it's like, grow up, dude. Like, come on, just grow up. I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. Anyways, pretend everyone is your child and he/she/them is about to die tomorrow. Then you will listen and be nice. Although, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with this one because, like, on another one is like on another forum that I read, it was like talking about how you kind of get less, you tolerate less bullshit with people, and it's like people that you don't have a natural chemistry with, and it's like pulling teeth to like talk to them. I just don't think it's worth it. I would rather be quiet personally. If they're not going to give me anything to work with, like, and I work with people. I try it, and that's why, I'm pretty good at connecting with people, not to be, a pretentious asshole or anything, but, I talk to people, I'll entertain whoever just for the sake of passing time, or like maybe getting something potentially cool out of them, or connecting on something you wouldn't expect to. So I don't know. It's just, people are weird. Some people are just weird, and I don't have time for that. Anyways, this is one that really I hear it a lot with adults, but I really don't. It says, anger is not a real emotion. It is fear clothed. Figure out what you are afraid of before you get angry. And Lucas and I learned this very early on in 7th or 8th grade. We watched in Donnie Darko. She tries to, there's this bitchy, I don't, is she a phys ed teacher? I don't know. And they're doing this exercise, and it's like the fear and love spectrum. And they read these cards, and it's like about somebody giving something or like stealing something or whatever. And it's like, you have to place it in the fear spectrum or the love spectrum. And Donnie gets up and he's like, you can't just categorize everything into fear and love. It's like that's not how the world works. And so I think, I don't know. Again, this one hasn't hit for me, and I don't know if it ever will because of Donnie Darko. But also because, again, the world isn't that simple. I guess there is, I don't know, anger and, stress probably does come from fear, but it's, from a place, from a place deep within that you're afraid of, and that I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's that simple to me. But, again, I don't know. Either watch Donnie Darko if you're on that side, or try to figure out your shit if you're on the fear and anger, the fear and love spectrum. It's whatever. I don't know. Try to be creative once a day. Creativity is a muscle, and there's no such thing as inspiration. Wow, that's sad. See, so some of these things I kind of forgot. Like I said, I read this when I was high. You can't lift a huge weight by inspiration alone. Okay. So there is they just contradicted themselves. You can't, they said you can't lift a huge weight by inspiration alone. But before that, they just said there's no such thing as inspiration. So, I don't know. I'm just going to say on that one. But be creative once a day. That seems like a good thing to do. I don't know. It really gets your juices flowing, and again, it kind of gets you out of the routine. If you're creative, it's something new. You're coming up with something, a new idea, and kind of making a new memory kind of thing. All diets are BS. Avoid processed sugars. Eat less. Right? Yeah. When you read, you can absorb the entire life of another person in a few days. Might as well read a lot. I like that one. Reading is something that I've kind of stumbled upon this last year and a half. And it really has, you can learn a lot from reading, which kind of sucks because reading does kind of suck sometimes. But once you get into it, it's you get better at it. It gets easier. And again, if you learn things. I don't know. It's important to read because you get that secondhand perspective that I was talking about. It's listening to older people or other people who have been through different shit and kind of being like, oh, okay, this is what I can apply to my life. Whatevs. The 5-25 rule. List 25 things you want to do in life. Separate out the 5 most important from the other 20. Never look at the other 20 again. They are only distractions. Which, that makes sense to me. I don't know. I guess you should have things in your life that you like to do that aren't, I don't know. That's what I'm saying is if you can enrich those 5 things, then fuck yeah, do it. I don't know. That makes sense to me. And again, it's maybe, I don't know. Maybe it hits different. Napping is fun. I like that one. Napping's fun. Napping is fun. You take a 20-minute power nap, and it's you kind of went to sleep, but you wake up, and you're like, oh, damn. But, you're not in that, it didn't get you groggy yet. So it's oh, all right, well, napping is fun. Sex is a painkiller, and as you get older, sex is better. No comment. War is never justified. On that one, I was like, At first, I was like, I don't know. But war is never justified. I think that's pretty true. I think there are reasons to go to war, but there are more reasons to not go to war. I don't know. I try to stay out of politics. Can't do this shit. Caitlin Bennett can fuck off. I don't know. Ability is 99 parts skill, 1 part talent. Talent is the ignition, and skill is the oil, which makes sense. It's like another one I think that it has on here is like quantity over quality for some things. For like skills is because like the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. That's literally how it is. So like the more time you put into something, the better you're going to be at it. Like if you spend all your time, I think I talked about this in the Whiplash episode a little bit, like that guy spent all of his time drumming. He broke up with that girl because he was like, okay, I'm just going to be thinking about drumming when we're together, and when we're not together, I'm going to be drumming or listening to drummers. It's like the more time you put into that, the better you're going to be at it. So it just makes sense. Watch a lot of comedy. I like this one because I like comedy. Watch a lot of comedy. Try to watch comedy every day. Laughter cures diseases. Well, see, I don't know about curing diseases and shit, but comedy is so pure. I just love it. And like, who doesn't like to laugh? You know what I mean? I don't understand why people don't like comedy. It's like you're just in a better mood. It's like it stops the shit sandwich for a little bit, It's like, God, it just like, you laugh and you're like, wow, like, I don't know, like, it's like an explosion of like happiness in a way, especially, those good laughs. That's what I strive for in life, is like those good laughs where you're like, you and your friend are like laughing about something you don't even know, and then you kind of like, it dies down, and then you're like, somebody says it again or something, and you just start cracking up, or like you laugh at how hard you're laughing. Oh, that is the best. That's my favorite. That's what drives me in life. That's my passion. But yeah, and I don't always portray it. I'm not the funniest guy, but again, it's like if I can try to be, or try to strive for those moments, then fuck yeah, those are my favorite. Those are just the best. Number 30, Alexander the Great doesn't care right now that Alexandria was named after him. This is like legacy, dude. Like, why care if you're named? See, I'm not trying to, like, in life, I know I want to go on this path and like go to New York and like get big or whatever and do the holiday. It's not even about getting big. Like, I just think it would be cool to talk to like famous people and like be a famous person, but it's not that I don't care if my name is globally recognized. You know what I mean? I just care that I'm doing what I want. It's like, you're gonna die, and it doesn't matter what kind of legacy you left. I mean, maybe with kids, like, it matters that you're like, okay, well, these kids are gonna help the world, but with your, I don't know, with your own life is like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter. You live for the now. I don't know. That one seems pretty simple, but I don't know. It hits at some points. The Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, Buddha, the Quran, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings are all the same book. Well, technically every story is based off of the hero's journey, so, you believe what you want to believe, but it's kind of true. If you are okay at one thing and okay at another thing, then you can be the best in the world at the intersection. I like that one. It's like, it talks about getting your skills. A lot of older people that I've talked to kind of say like, or some of these things that I read is like, you can work on one thing and get really good at it, or you can work on a couple of different things and be pretty good at some of them. And it's like, those will come together and help you in many different ways. I've heard that one a lot, and it really hasn't I haven't fully grasped the importance of it yet, but I've read it a lot and I've heard it a lot, and I really want to start focusing on that with myself, is like, because I mean, again, it's about how much time you put into things, and I only put in time to like screenwriting and like watching movies and like talking to people and working, and like that's only 4 things. It's like, I need to get good at some other stuff. Like, I don't know, I bet programming would be cool to get into because that's important in the world today, or like accounting. I don't know. I don't even know, but just kind of get good at different. Cooking would be cool to get into, even like karate or yoga. Just get it good at a bunch of different stuff, And then at some point, they may fall together, or they're just useful at different times in your life. So, I don't know. When you write, pretend you're talking to someone bored and you're trying to keep them interested, sentence by sentence. This is how I live my podcast. It's like, you guys are all definitely bored by now, but fuck you. I'm trying to keep you, I don't know. I hope I'm not that boring, but insecurity is good. Confidence is porn. What do you think that means, huh? Insecurity is good. Confidence is porn. So being insecure is good because it helps you work out. I don't know. Confidence is porn. I don't know. That one could just be a bullshit one, but it could also, again, it makes sense later. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll all figure it out. Or just me. Who knows? Or just nobody. Let's see. Oh, Richard Branson started Virgin Air by putting up a sign when his plane was canceled, selling tickets. So his plane was canceled, but he sold tickets for it. And then he used the money that he sold those tickets he used that money to raise enough money to rent an airplane. Does that make sense? His flight was canceled, and he sold tickets for a flight that didn't exist yet, and used that money towards buying an airplane. So that's definitely a business related one, and I think you can definitely apply that to a lot of things in your life. And that's being inventive. That's like, you got to be smart. That's like being smart and like being really good about ideas and stuff like that. I don't want to read all of these. See, this is the one. Quantity is more important than quality. Quality is a byproduct of quantity. Picasso created 50,000 works of art. The fewer things you own, the fewer things own you. And that's including children and, a relationship. It's like, that's your baggage. That's the stuff. Like, I get to pack up. I don't have any baggage besides, the stuff in my room, which I can just toss in a storage unit or something, or at my parents' place. And I can just pack up and go to NYC if I want to, which I'm going to. But it's like, at some point, you're going to have these relationships that you just can't leave behind. Or you're going to have a job, or you're going to have some, it's like, these things own you. Like, they are making you stay where you are. So definitely something to be conscious of. That's important. This is kind of going off. We're at 48. We're almost done. Stick with me here, guys. Physics and most of biology are just opinions that will change every few years. That's crazy to me, because science does kind of change all the time. It's like the things that we think we know now is like, they're just opinions. I don't know. It's weird. We always discover something new because the people in the simulation are working ahead of us. So they're like, all right, what else can we make to make them stumble upon before they figure us out? I don't know. And then, so it ends with 42. It ends with 42. And see, at first, I always thought, like, the answer to everything, like, you hear that is, it was 42. And it's like a joke from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it's like, oh, that's funny. Like, it's just like a computer kind of just came up with that. It's like, 42? What? But after reading that when I was high, I was like, maybe it's the age of 42. Like, maybe once you reach around, like, middle age and you go through that crisis, like, you kind of figure things out a little bit more. I don't know. That's just, 42 is a weird number. I don't know. There's, like, quarter-life crises, and then there's midlife crises, and I don't know. It just is a scary thought to me, especially going right now. I'm 21, and I don't know. There's things that you can't prepare for, and, like, that's life. Like, you go through a thing. And that's what I'm saying. You literally level up. It's weird. I don't know. It's scary and exciting and intense and a shit sandwich, but also a chocolate mousse cake. And in the end, you die. So take what you want. Give nothing back. So this is where I am right now, kind of mentally. And it's looking better than it was. I don't know if you guys listened to that episode 2 weeks ago that was real sad and sappy, but, I'm on the, trying to come up. At least today, I feel better. At least today, I feel better. Live that fully, and don't try to separate from the shit sandwich. Don't take the shit sandwich, but, struggle with it, I guess. I don't know. This, I think, is a very opinionated based episode, and like there's a lot of talking points I think here. So I really, I don't really do a lot with the audience on this. I don't know. There's not that much of an audience, so nobody really responds ever. But if you guys have different ideas about different topics that I've talked about throughout this thing, I definitely want to hear it. I really want to know your perspective. It's called Articulate because I just articulated my perception of those things and like getting older and how I'm dealing with the world, and I want to hear yours. So I mean, if you want to message me about this, talk to me. I'm always open for conversation. I'm busy sometimes, but I'll always make time to talk about my podcast or no, to talk about life, really, because that's what, everybody's figuring it out, and that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, definitely hit me up. Also, thank you, I love you, and amen. Okay.